It is finals day at the 2020. Men's doubles final, something for everyone this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you, Trevor. It's great to be back at the US Open once again, and a fantastic job the hosts and organisers have done here in Texas. This men's doubles final is sort of typical of what we've seen so far this week. That scratch pairing, interesting because Yang Po-han of Taipei with his usual partner, a former top 10 player in the world, Teeraratsakul, and his partner are much more solid. They've put in some good performances. It's a really good way to kick things off because anything can happen in this men's doubles final. Both very capable pairs, as we've seen from Chinese Taipei this week, and the Thais have had a terrific year as well.
Both pairs being given a very warm welcome for our opening match on this Sunday afternoon. Just turned midday here in Fort Worth.
If you're sitting close to the front, your phone is up with a flash. Please turn it off. It's still on. It's still on. Thank you, sir.
Always a few nerves around. It is the first meeting between these pairs, so we haven't got any past history to go on. I think it will be absolutely pivotal which of these pairs makes a solid start, particularly Liu and Yang. I was going to ask you, Bobby, how difficult it is when you are a scratch pair and there's no kind of existing chemistry between you. Must be a big challenge to kind of be able to compete at this level, especially in a final.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get a sign of that later as well in the mixed doubles. I was watching that semi-final yesterday where clearly there were gaps in play, struggling with rotation. Surprisingly for me this week, Liu and Yang have gelled reasonably well. I mean, Yang Po-han has been a world beater. He's beaten the world champions with his usual partner. To see him gel so well together with Liu this week has been really impressive. It can be a real benefit. It's a bit like bringing a new manager in to a football squad. Sometimes it buoys the team into a sudden brilliant sort of period of form. We take a closer look now at our two pairs briefly.
Yeah, and they're both 19 years of age, the Thais, so two teenagers trying to land this title here. They are ranked, as you can see, at 38 in the world. That is their best. They got to the final of the Thailand Masters in January. That was a Super 300 event. Couldn't land the trophy. They also finished runners-up in the Toyota International Challenge in Thailand back in March. So they've had a couple of finals under their belt, which is, I think, a help in this kind of a situation. But still a really big match for them today, trying to land that elusive first trophy. And it's not going to be particularly easy either against their opponents. Here's their path to the final. That big win yesterday against Lane and Vendy. Before that, it had been, well, plain sailing, nothing longer than 27 minutes, which is ridiculously quick. I don't think we're going to be in for a half-hour match today somehow. Also be interesting to see what part the drift will play, if any. It's kind of varied a little bit, actually. I was talking to a couple of the players. They said yesterday wasn't quite the same as it has been previously in the week. So the pair from Chinese Taipei, Liu Qiangheng, who's just 20 years of age. He's 10 years younger, actually, than his partner. You see that high ranking of 150 odd. I don't think that's going to have a great deal of relevance, but he is going to rely on that man's experience. 30 now, Yang Po Han. His only 300 title was with Lu Qingyao in 2022 in Germany in the High-Low Open. He actually won his first international title way back in 2013. Just that 1 3-game match against the Japanese pair in the quarterfinals, and a facile victory yesterday in the semis. Just half an hour to get rid of Chang and Chen in straight games. Don't think that lengthy rallies are going to be the order of the day, are they, Bobby, in this match?
No, I don't think so. And you mentioned the drift. I think all players out there will want to avoid anything that brings that into play. Yang Po Han, he loves the forecourt. I mean, he's going to try and finish the rally early. The first 3 shots of the rally, particularly in men's doubles and particularly with these two pairs, are going to be absolutely crucial. David Evans is our chair umpire. Sarah Sohashini, our service judge for this one.
When you enter the convention center,
and you mentioned that Thailand Masters performance, Trevor, for Sukphun and Teeraratsakul. I mean, they came through a strong Danish pair through qualifying to get there, beat Karnando and Martin, the 3 seeds. They took on Kogo and Saito to get through, not narrowly in the final. I mean, they are very capable on their day. It's just they lack that consistency across tournaments. So I'm excited to see where they are today in this final.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Phuachai Sukphun and Pakapong Teeraratsakul, Thailand. And on my left, Liu Qiangheng and Yang Po Han, Chinese Taipei. Liu Qiangheng to serve, Pakapong Teeraratsakul. Level. Play.
So here we go, first shuttle hit in anger on finals day here in Fort Worth. And just to mention also, we'll have the presentations that will take place after each final. We got some 10-gallon hats alongside the prize money and the trophies. Terrific defense from the Chinese Taipei pair.
Well, 2 rallies, that couldn't have been more opposite, the first and the second. That winning point in the opening rally, the Taipei pair left that huge gap down the middle, and it was exactly as you mentioned. They're a scratch pairing, they haven't played together before. Whose that shot is something they work out in training, and quite frankly, they haven't had that opportunity. That second rally, entirely different. They looked brilliant in defence. It was a shame it just crept wide.
Just also to make you aware that we do have Hawkeye today, so each pair have 2 challenges per game that they can use, and if they're correct, they keep the challenge.
Yes.
Always good to be on the board on the Chinese Taipei pair, off the mark, so to speak, in this opening game. But already they've seen, if they didn't know before, the aggressive nature of this Thai pair. They really love to attack every conceivable opportunity. Impetuosity of youth, I guess, the 2 teenagers.
Service over. 3-1.
Arm around the shoulder from Yang Po Han. You said it, 10 years difference in that age gap, and he's so much more experienced. He's also one of the nicest guys on the tour. We had the privilege of training at the All England during the early stages of the week with the para team, and Yang Po Han was more than happy to let us get on court and hit with him. You know, playing with a smile on his face, and that for me is worth a few points a game. If you can maintain that through your career and enjoy your badminton, he really just used that to his advantage.
Well, he enjoyed that from his partner, that's for sure. Fiercely struck winner from Lu. It's the second time they've gone straight down the middle.
Yeah, I think Liu actually had that covered and tried in hope to leave the shuttle to watch it fall out the back, but it was inch perfect on the back line.
Service over. 3-4.
Fighting fire with fire.
Yeah. 4-4.
Off the blade.
Service over.
Just steered that into a completely unguarded part of the court.
Yeah, another example where the pair weren't exactly sure who should be covering what. Yang moved to his left. The only option he had is to cover that straight drive. His partner should be aware of that.
Service over. 5-4.
I think the crowd are absolutely neutral here. They're just enjoying this this match. I don't think they have a side. That might change when we get to the women's singles later.
Service over. 6-5.
That was a lovely touch from Teeraratsakul. Yang had to push back, expecting pace. Finesse with that softer shot.
Well, that was the bite of it, wasn't it? The Thais have won a couple of points, going right between their 2 opponents. And Chinese Taipei pair saying, well, we can do that as well. So often, so effective a shot.
It's unusual, particularly for a more established pair like the pair from Thailand, to leave that amount of space between each other. Usually, you see, particularly in men's doubles, players rotating around each other as if they're attached by a piece of string. And they shouldn't leave that kind of gap between each other.
It was a huge gap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, the Thais nowhere near the finished article. But this would be definitely a breakthrough win if they take this title.
Service fault called, too high.
First time.
Service over.
I didn't have any of those
7-4.
yesterday in the 4 matches that I did, called by the service judge. You have to serve from below 115 centimetres. And those little perspex blocks on the left you can see are what the service judge, in this case Sarah Shasani, looks through to make that decision.
That's a good rally from Chinese Taipei.
Service over. 8-7.
Yang Bohan, his favourite thing to do is assert himself from that service line and just keep that lift coming. His normal partner, Liu Xingyao, is a monster of a man, you know, and he's used to having that height and power behind him.
Service over. 8-all.
Never more than a couple of points between these pairs in the first 6 or 7 minutes here.
Excellent work from Liu. He looks so comfortable in defence. I haven't seen much of him. The highest rank I can find with any partners around 150, which means we don't see him often at this stages of World Tour events. But he looks the real deal here.
Well, potentially shows you the strength in depth of badminton in Chinese Taipei. Just too long.
10-8.
Well anticipated. Really quick into the net there. And that's a 3-point lead for the Chinese Taipei pair at the mid-game interval. And that's the biggest margin there's been in this match so far.
They look to me to be settling into this match with every minute. A few moments early on where this Chinese Taipei pair have been a little unorganised, but as the last few minutes evolved, they're starting to look really comfortable.
Well, he's got a great partner to learn from, hasn't he, Liu, in Yang Bohan. So much experience. Surprised actually he hasn't won more tournaments when you look back at his career.
Yeah, a bit erratic sometimes, Yang, in defence. He's got a tendency to try and fight fire with fire. Instead of the soft touch sometimes to get the attack back, he tends to try and whip the shuttle back into the rear corners and can often get too excited, a bit too much adrenaline, and leaks a few errors that way.
Well, let's see if Liu and Yang can keep the momentum they had towards the end of that first half of the opening game before the interval.
Oof. A little indecision, I think, from Yang. That's an excellent rally.
Oh. How did you get that back? Pure reaction.
Look how... Oh.
Well, best rally of the match by an absolute mile.
That was exhibition stuff, wasn't it?
A couple of just incredible pickups in that point. That was the best of them, I think. It's almost like an afterthought for the left-hander.
All smiles as well from the Thailand pair. I think everyone's enjoying this.
there was another example. There just wasn't quite the cohesion, was there, between Liu and Yang on that point.
Relentless in attack, these two. I just wonder whether the change of ends might give Yang and Liu that advantage in the second game.
Service over. 12-10.
That's some impressive tattooing, isn't it?
It's a lot of ink. I think there might have been a couple of nervous points right at the start of this game, but now both pairs have really settled into it, seeing a hugely entertaining men's doubles final. He second guessed it, didn't he?
That's exactly what he did, yeah. That anticipation.
So they've got their 3-point lead back that they had the interval. Oh, that's an error. Haven't been that many. Most of the points have been won actually with really progressive play, but that was a surprising miss.
They got lucky there. I think Yang forgot his opponent was left-handed at one point.
Which he shouldn't, because he's a lefty himself.
Yes, exactly. That's clever from Yang.
Just get the impression, Bobby, that the Thais are trying to force this a little bit.
Yeah, squeezing a bit too hard. Trying to really hammer home that attack. And the, in contrast, in defense, Taipei at times looks so relaxed, almost complacent. But they're making it work, so, you know, we can't argue. That's clever.
16-10.
Taking a bit of a stranglehold there on this opening game.
Tell you what,
Yang.
yeah, this guy, Liu, I've not seen much of him before, but he is so full of confidence. Just the way he's moving on court and how he doesn't move until the shot's hit, which is textbook, but the amount of players that have got their feet all over the place trying to get an advantage in defense, and he just stands still and waiting. He's very calm.
Fault. Service over.
That's a clever return from Teeraratsakul.
16.
Just changed the angle of the racket at the last moment.
I think quite a few of the players in this event are moving on to Calgary next week for the Canada Open, and that's pretty much it before we hit Paris and the Olympic Games.
Six of the last 7 points to Liu and Yang. And yeah, Trevor, what a great warm-up it is right now for a lot of players. We've seen a few unusual performances this week, actually, where top players, you and I were watching Kirsty Gilmore the other day, talking about how good she looked in the opening game and how it's a perfect preparation going into Paris. I'm hoping to see Kirsty next week in Canada. But some of these players are using this as a springboard. Just make sure they're ready, make sure they peak their performances for the Olympic Games.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy journey from here to Calgary, just a few hours on a plane. That was in. Dropped in.
19-12.
So just a couple of points away now from securing this opening game. the Chinese Taipei pair.
Yeah, neither of these two pairs, of course, are high enough ranked for the Paris Games, but there'll be plenty who are. That's gone in, I think.
Yeah, it hit the line. They're going to challenge it, but it just looked to the naked eye as though at least part of that call clipped the line. And if it did, it'll be game point.
There was a right question earlier, Trevor, about the drift today. It does look different because yesterday that would have gone out by quite some distance. That left to right drift we saw all day long.
Unsuccessful. One challenge remaining.
So
20.
8 game points then for
12.
Liu and Yang.
Play. Service over.
A little bit of defiance.
13. 20.
It's been a sort of weird kind of opening game because there was nothing really in it until we got past the halfway point, and then Liu and Yang have just taken over, really. And they've secured the game. That was a clever little shot.
Really?
That was a challenge, I think.
Well, I guess they can because nothing to lose, but I think that was a really subtle shot.
Yeah, it was a confident-looking shot, touch of flamboyance. And I like the way he hit the shot, carried on running off to his kit box as if he knows it was a winner.
Well, that I wanted to try and dissuade him from challenging. But it was bang on the line, so no problems. And they take the opening game by 21 points to 13. And you'd have to say that certainly the latter part of that game,
21-13.
the scoreline was very fair.
Well, they were 11-10 at one point.
Yeah.
Amazing second half for Liu and Yang.
Twenty seconds. 20 seconds. Second game. Level. Play.
Well, the Thai pair very keen to get on with this. They were out well before the 20-second warning of the umpire. How about that for openers?
1 love.
Flicker of the week award, I reckon.
Well, we talked about how confident he was looking, and to come out to begin a game almost showboating.
Could be wrong, but I don't remember any flickers in the first game, do you? But there were maybe a couple. I'm trying to think. I don't think there were.
I can't remember one, actually, no.
Element of surprise worked absolutely perfectly. And somehow, the Thai pair have got to arrest this welter of points against them that started midway through the last game and has carried on here. But that was just long.
Service over. 1-2. Pakistan Teeraratsakul challenges.
It was called out. That looked well in from here, but we are sat so far away.
It was a quietish call. I was kind of wondering exactly what the decision was. I didn't hear anything, but yeah, it's a tie challenge, so it was called out. And it was out by a long way.
Wow.
Challenge unsuccessful.
I've booked you in for the opticians 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah, thank you.
3-1.
I'm going to have a small excuse in that Liu was half tempted to play it off the back line and sort of did some kind of motion, and it all looked a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Taipei pair are also a little bit confused about where they should be stood and what the score is, but David Evans has got us all back in order.
Yeah, and at the moment, Sukphun and Teeraratsakul are firmly on the back foot here.
It's a good serve from Yang. And he's fired up, isn't he? Yu raining down the smashes.
I think it's the biggest compliment that you can pay them is that since that, maybe the first, I don't know, half a dozen points of the match, where there were a couple of moments where they weren't quite sure positionally, but since then, you would never guess they're a scratch pair.
No, no, I agree. And some of that can be down to team selection and training. Yang Po-han plays in a certain way. He's very much the forecourt player in the men's doubles pair that he's used to playing with. It's only going to work, especially at his age. He can't change. He's not going to. He's got to use those strengths, and he's been a top 10 player in the world in men's doubles. He needs a partner that is quick, that is powerful, that likes to attack, to sort of run around behind him. And it looks like he's definitely got that in Liu.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, instinctive defense.
In the end, it counted for nothing, though.
6.
That was right into his hitting zone.
6.
So the comeback's on, maybe.
Yang, go ready.
He was ready now,
Service
wasn't he?
over. 7-4. Yang.
Oh, the umpire's having a word with Yang Po-han.
No need to shout at the net, play a shot there.
It's not really a rule I like in badminton. You know, he's just anticipated. He did that well, and he played the perfect shot. You've got every right to celebrate. I don't think he was being overly aggressive or trying to intimidate his opponents.
I certainly don't think there was any intent there whatsoever. I think it was just a reaction, but I sometimes think maybe it's a bit, especially if you're right at the net, it can be construed as being a bit in your opponent's face. But yeah, I certainly don't think that there was any intention to unnerve the opponents.
Fault. Service over.
Well spotted again by Lou. He's playing really well, the youngster.
5.
Yeah, it's a really good 1-2. I can't remember exactly how old you said he was, Trevor, but whatever that age is,
he's 20.
He's playing well beyond his years. That's experience that he seems to have.
Service for hold, too high.
Second
Service
time.
over. 6-8.
She's on the case today, is Sarah Shahsaini, the service judge. And it is a little unnerving because it's something that's in the back of your mind, a bit like a golfer's shank. Say the hardest shot in golf is the shot after a shank, and in badminton, when you serve, when you've just been called for, too high, it's well, not the back of your mind, it's probably the forefront of your mind. Meanwhile, after that excellent winner, ties back within 1.
And it also puts a lot of pressure on your partner.
Service over.
Is that in?
No, it was short.
7.
And no challenge. That's exactly what I was going to say. Sukphun's just missed a serve. It was called for an illegal too high. Your partner serve has to count. And the way the Taipei pair are attacking the serves puts an awful lot of pressure on you. And he just missed. I mean, that's the point in... Point in reality, really.
8-9.
Brilliant return again.
Service over. 10-8.
He's such a live wire at the net, he really is.
Still haven't seen many flick serves from Thailand, and they've missed a couple at the front, either hitting them too short or called for a fault. And the way Yang Po-han in particular is attacking that short serve, well, that's only going to end one way.
Service over.
Yeah, a little bit of good forward. That's almost the first net pull we've had in this match, I think.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't flick served the Taipei pair more often. Oh, he nearly got that back.
He did brilliantly to get his racket to it and almost control it.
Service over.
I mean, in that rally, they look like a pair that have been playing together for years. And they're in front again at the mid-game break. 11-9.
Yeah, this rally here is a really good example. We can't get to see the whole rally, of course, but early on they just looked calm. They put their rackets in positions where they expected the shuttle to be, and it came. And then they move fast when they need to. They're really having a great game today, Liu and Yang.
YONEX sponsored or operated by TotalEnergies outside the spectator entrance, where you can get cool gear to look just like these athletes on court.
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Eleven, 9. Play. Service over.
I was just about to say, this was the point in the first game, just after the interval, where Liu and Yang just completely started to dominate. That was only 1 point, but I think it was an important one, just to try and set the tone for the ties.
It's good defence.
Service over. 12.
Well, they absorbed all of that pressure for so long in the rally, and they did it in such a calm fashion.
Get ready.
I'm not sure why Yang Po Han's normal partner, Liu Qingyao, isn't around this week. I'm sure. I mean, they played the Indonesian Open weeks ago. I think you were out there, Trevor, together. They did quite well as well. I think they beat Cheer and So, former world champions, in that event to get to a, I think it was a quarter-final. He's probably injured. I can't see it's a retirement. I don't know. But if it is in an injury, I think I'd be a little bit worried about my place in the team, because Liu is having a great game with Yang. Well, both pairs are using every inch of the court, and with just enough quality to keep the forecourt man away from the shuttle. It's been exhibition stuff at times here.
Yeah.
Just another little gentle warning.
That is brilliant. What a return of serve.
13, 12.
Dives with his body, fully committed. And then at the very last moment, changes the racket grip, changes the wrist angle, and sends it into the open space. Deceptive and at pace. Look at him bouncing around behind his partner as well. He's up for this.
Service over.
That said, the time's making much more of a fist of it now than they were maybe 10 minutes ago. And this second game at the moment on something of a knife edge.
Service over.
Tried to use skill
14,
instead of hard work here. I think it was Teeraratsakul. Tried to be deceptive instead of taking the shuttle early, and he paid the price. This one, Yang Po Han, he's seen all of that before.
Yeah, you just saw at the end of that replay as well how Liu was covering that. Had that cleared the net, I think it would have been a problem.
Service over.
On such moments, sometimes matches can turn.
Did well to get back so quickly and hit that with such a steep angle. Take a bow. He had to cover for his partner here.
14.
And I thought, fair enough, there's one shot you've got to cover because your partner's out of position. He was working so hard.
I was just about to say to you, they finally listened to you about the flick serve. It didn't do them any good.
No. No, well, I thought they actually caught Yang Po Han out, but Liu was so good in covering. Superb.
16, 14.
I think all our viewers will need to remember the face, because this man on serve here really is going to go places.
He's been terrific so far. Needs to keep going.
How did he get to that?
Service over.
Well, they lost the rally, but again,
16.
I think Liu almost had to cover the entire width of the court. Somehow kept it alive.
Court attendant. Court attendant. Please get off. Thank you. Fifteen, 16.
Good lead.
16-4.
So now it is getting a little nervy. 16-all. Remember, they had a 6-1 lead early in this game, the Chinese Taipei pair. What a get that was. Looks a certain winner, and that
17,
might be a turning point.
16.
They looked massive underdogs in that point. Somehow stayed in it. The error came from the other side of the net. And just checking to see if that's the first time. It is the first time they've been in front.
Yeah. How much is the crowd enjoying this as well? It's lovely to have a decent supportive crowd here at the US Open this year. And like you said earlier, for the neutral enjoying this, they're really being treated here.
And now big favourites to force a decider.
Oh, great touch. And again. Oh, what a rally this is.
Well, best rally of the match, and there have been a few
19,
exceptional
16.
ones. Absolutely fantastic. Just a pity it ended with an error. We'd always rather see a winning end to an exchange like that, but nonetheless.
It's a fine display of men's doubles, and that momentum was just changing all over the rally.
Thank you.
45 shots to
Back on court. Yes.
missed it, has he?
Yeah.
20. Game point.
He did everything
16.
right, but put the shuttle over the net. Look at that. That's a confident looking player right there.
So 4 game points to level the match. Just needed the one 21-16 it is, and from 6-1 down in that second game. Sukphun and Teeraratsakul come from behind, and they force a decider in this final. One game all. Well, who knows where this final is going to go next. It looked a tough one to call at the start, but now anyone's guess.
Final game.
So fair play to the ties towards the back end of that second game. Suddenly found some inspiration, and for just about the first time in the match, they made the Chinese Taipei pair just look a little nervy.
They did look nervy, didn't they? They missed a few good opportunities. And I think if they'd have managed to put them away, they might have closed out this match in 2.
One love.
There we go again. Can't afford to do that.
Just wonder how much of a body blow losing that second game was. Because in all honesty, they looked the better pair for the majority of the second game, didn't they? Until maybe the last 5 or 6 points.
Service over.
Good anticipation.
2.
Called it out. It did look good from here.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and they're challenging this. First impression was that was good, but let's see what Hawkeye has to say about it.
Wow.
Correction in. Service over.
Well, it was the inside of the line. The shuttle coming from across the court angle must have deceived the line judge. What a return of serve. Almost like a top spin forehand in tennis. That bounced, didn't it?
The level of commitment.
Well, how much does the Super 300 title mean? I think this rally shows us.
What an astonishing point that was. Absolutely fantastic.
You cannot question the commitment.
Well, no wonder. Need a bit of a breather.
Thank you.
Court attendants are on mopping the court. There were players diving around everywhere.
Back on court.
And the way that this deciding game has started, we're kind of none the wiser as to who may end up lifting this trophy, which is, frankly, just how we like it.
I was calling a few games yesterday where it was littered with mistakes and gaps and awkward to watch. This is not the case. We don't know who's going to win because, quite frankly, they're both playing brilliantly and it's so entertaining. Oh. Well, that had some extra spicy Cajun sauce on the smash. That was spicier than those chili margaritas you were talking about the other day, Trevor.
Service over. 4-all.
Well reached.
Oh, clever from Yang. Brilliant defense twice.
And again! And again!
Unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Service over.
Well, there was a look across there from Yang to his partners and say, how on earth did you do that? Not once, not twice, 3 times.
Here we go.
There's 1, 2, how about 3? 4, actually. Did him out of an extra one.
Come on, partner. Where's Yang's turn?
Back on court.
Crowd are really getting into this. And with all due respect to, well, I guess you'd say 3 of these 4, it just shows you don't need superstar names to produce a phenomenally entertaining game of badminton.
All 4 of these are playing right at the top of their limits here. And like you say, you don't need to be top 5, top 10 in the world to give us that entertainment. If the entire Olympic Games looks like this level of badminton, everyone will be thrilled.
Play.
Sukphun standing his ground. Oh, what's going on?
Warning for misconduct. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yellow card. I'm not sure exactly for what, Trevor.
Maybe it was a celebratory thing again, was it?
Well, he lost the point, so I don't know, but unsportsmanlike conduct I heard from David Evans.
Yeah. Which is incredibly unlike him. It's not his character at all.
I think the worst we can accuse him of, the most he's guilty of, is just getting a bit too excited at times. I don't think there's any malice in it.
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't affected him.
There was a bit of anger in that, I think.
Yep. Yep.
Making his point and winning the point.
Thank you.
I wonder if anybody's deliberately hit the shuttle at the umpire before. Not that he did then, of course, but
saw someone get disqualified for doing it in a game of tennis about a year ago. But yeah, that would probably be a DQ, your black card.
Service over. 7,
Just
6.
in the last, well, I think the last few points of the second game, and certainly in this decider so far, I think the ties have had the greater weight of shot from, particularly from the back of the court.
that rally was a good example where Chinese Taipei, it's almost a bit of a risk, a bit of a gamble to try and defend flat and hope that you hit the shuttle with enough quality like that, where your opponent can't smash it back down at you. It's very easy, actually, just to lift it to the back line. They're choosing not to, in hope that they are backing themselves in defence, and it is a bit of a gamble. And with a scoreline like this, I think it's a bit too risky from Liu and Yang.
Yeah. They have had the rub, that is for sure, the Taipei. That's 3 net calls I can remember. Those don't come back.
No, the perfect shot.
Thank you. Plays back on court.
What I like there was he celebrated after he played that shot. It's not an automatic apology for hitting the net cord. These guys train to do that, day in, day out. If he executes it perfectly, why should you apologise for getting the luck? You're trying to hit the net cord.
Well, and I've always thought as well, you're not really sorry, are you? You're actually delighted you won the point.
No. It's different if it's a smash or a drop shot or a defensive drive from the mid-court. You don't expect to clip the net, but when you're stood around the service line trying to play tight, you actually are trying to hit the net.
It's kind of a courtesy, isn't it, I guess?
Oh, it's a bit loose.
Nearly got that back. But I think that is an indication, that point again, what I said a moment ago, that the weight of shot from the Taipei at the moment is threatening to carry the day here. Yeah,
and actually, on this occasion, Chinese Taipei pair did what I sort of asked. Put the shuttle on the back line, go over the top. It didn't work for them. So actually, perhaps they're right in the first instance to back themselves in defence and try and get the attack back. Trial and error. I mean, it's worth having a go just to see if those change of tactics will make a difference to the scoreline. Well, there we go. Turning defence into attack, but they can't afford to waste an easy chance.
Yeah, errors creeping into the Chinese Taipei pairs game that weren't there in the first swap. Certainly not in the first game, and for most of the second. Well, they needed that point.
7-10. Service over. 11,
So some of the shots they get back are incredible.
Much harder than the one he missed.
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen that a few times now from Yang and Liu.
So it's a 4-point lead at the mid-game break. The tie's in front.
Seconds. 20 seconds. Go. Players on court. Yes. Back on court now. Forehand. 11, 7.
So we're just shy of an hour into this men's doubles final.
Play.
And for the first time, the tie's pretty much in control here.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the shot previous that set it up, wasn't it?
7.
First time I've seen a strategic mistake from Yang. He drove the shuttlers' opponents. The rule is you stand mid-court with your partner and take on the obvious drive back. He pushed to net and left gaps bound both sides. Has to be careful here. The basics need to be right.
13, 7.
Getting more and more confident, this Thailand pair.
You put the mockers on them. That's about the most timid shot we've seen him play in the match, almost, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a really good point to win, actually. Not just because of the scoreline and the point in the match that we are, but the style at which they played that rally. It might not have looked like much, but it was a very sort of confidence, like, I'm not lifting, I'm going to make you lift.
Shot.
Yeah, he's good again, though. Yang Po-han,
14,
sort of victim of his own
8.
downfall here. He can't afford to step to the tee when he's played a drive through the mid-court.
Leo, cannot delay.
Going to be very costly, these errors, by the look of it.
Yeah, they're throwing this away, which is a shame.
It is a shame because they've played so well for so much of this match. But I think we've both been hugely impressed with young Liu Qianghong. Even though it looks now as though he's probably going to end up on the losing side here.
Service over. 9.
Not that the tail's been thrown in yet, far from it.
No, this will regain that confidence, if anything, creating his own winning points. And you can't beat that slam dunk to finish. It's a bit like a 2-inch tap-in in golf from a, 200-yard shot to the green. You just enjoy it. You don't need to worry.
Wouldn't know about that.
Oh, so athletic.
Ties have done well to keep this point alive, however. And won it. What a shot. What a point.
Anything less than that perfect execution with a cross drive in defence. And Liu was round the head, taking it forehand. He could not have played this any better.
Just about the only place he could hit it that was unguarded, and he landed it absolutely spot on.
Service over. 10-16.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a sting in the tail yet, Trevor.
Well, it's been such a topsy-turvy match, hasn't it? You know, first game all very close, and then from nowhere really the Chinese Taipei got away. He led 6-1 in the second, lost it. However, Taipei are just 4 points away now from the promised land.
Good defence from Yang. Not really out of position here in defence. Leaking another error.
Service over. 11-18.
Well left. Cheap points.
Yeah, just got a guard against their complacency setting in here, the Thais. Never over till it's over.
Sits so well.
Yeah, superb from Teeraratsakul.
Yes.
Credit to these two. I can't remember many mistakes in the last game and a half.
Now they've just got stronger, haven't they? The longer the game was all on, for sure.
Match point.
So,
11.
9 championship points for Sukphun and Teeraratsakul. It's long, and that is it. And in the end, it was comfortable in the decider. But they had to come from behind, and that's what it means. What a phenomenal effort from these two 19-year-olds. A first Super 300 title, and they've done it the hard way, Bobby.
Yeah, they have. Sheer hard work, discipline, focus. I mean, talent-wise, I thought Liu and Yang had the advantage.
Match won by
Sukphun and Teeraratsakul today have been so solid, in fact, all week, and they fully deserve this title.
I think that Liu and Yang are going to look back, and it's going to be a case of what might have been for them, but no. So, very shortly, we will have the presentation ceremony for the men's doubles.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the arena screen as we begin the prize presentation ceremony for the men's doubles final.
Yeah, it means an awful lot, especially in these kind of years where you've got two opportunities for a nation to qualify for something like the Olympic Games, invitations to larger tournaments, 750s and maybe 1000s, where the prize money is significantly higher. And it's a really life-changing sort of moment when you go from surviving on the World Tour to earning some serious money. Otherwise,
there you go. They're all cowboys together now.
I'm not sure Yang knew which way around to wear that hat.
I invite you back to the podium to present the checks to the players.
I think it's a great thing that they do in badminton, where the host city or the host country gets to kind of put their own little stamp on the event.
Please remain.
Well, how nice was it to hear the national anthem earlier before we got underway and sung live? That was quite a touching moment.
Sing it every day in schools here, every morning in the schools they sing it.
Players, please stay for a group photo. Thank you, runner-ups. Champions, please stay for an individual photo.
So they're going to get a couple of shots of the two Thai players together. Played in a great spirit, even though there was that card for Yang. As we said at the time, I don't think there's any ill will at all towards their opponents.
Let's give another round of applause to our men's doubles champions.
Final congratulations then for those two. And we're going to take a short break. When we come back, women will be centre stage in just a moment. Iwanga and Nakanishi up against Kanlaha and Moonwalk.
Thank you, champions. Our next match will start momentarily. So everyone, keep that energy up, and we'll see you all soon.
Well, a very warm welcome back to the Fort Worth Convention Centre on finals day here in the US Open. Tremendous men's doubles final. Let's see if the women can match it. Iwanga and Nakanishi of Japan up against Kanlahar and Muanwong of Thailand, trying to make it a tie double early on finals day. Here is the women's doubles draw. If you were with us yesterday, you'll have seen that very straightforward victory that the Japanese pair had against the Shu sisters, and a similarly decisive win really for the Thai pair. So we'll see what happens here.